Welcome back to the Snapshot series. We're with Jamie Tilke, right? And this is someone who real time is having evolution. Real time is having breakthroughs and transitions. And we're just going to let the magic take this interview for the next 10 minutes or 12 minutes. Now, this Snapshot series is all about giving our audience an appetizer or an appetizer of our people, our transformational speakers. So welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you for having me, Nick.
We got you dropped right in here, right?
Hell yeah.
So for those that don't know you, could you give a little bit of a snapshot about your life, like where you were, where you are now, and why you're so passionate about the work that you're doing and jumping into speaking? But like, give them a little snapshot of your whole life.
All right, here we go. So there I am in small town in upstate New York. Grew up in very humble beginnings. My mom was a single parent, had some siblings. We grew up. We moved a lot because we didn't have a lot of money, and decided that I wanted to become a rock star. Moved down to Florida. That clearly didn't work out. Became an over-the-road truck driver. Fast forward to 1995. I'm watching Rambo, and that infamous scene comes where Colonel Troutman walks in, and Sheriff Teasel, I think is his name, and he goes, "Why would God in heaven ever create a man like Rambo?" And he says, "I didn't create Rambo, or God didn't create Rambo. I did." And then he goes, "You don't want to seem to accept the fact that you're dealing with an expert in guerrilla warfare. For the man that's busts with guns, with knives, with the bare hands." And I was like, that's the fucking dude I need to be right there. And so I went down to the Army recruiters, and they were like, "Bro, we got one." And they started reeling me in. They showed me all the crazy. "You're going to learn how to devenomize snakes, and you're going to jump out of airplanes. You're going to do all this shit. Is that you?" Say me. And I was like, "That's me, motherfucker. Let's do this thing." Right? And so yeah, anyways, I volunteered, and then I got into training and went into the Ranger and Doctrination program, and I was like, what the fuck am I doing, man? Like, we started with 80-something people, ended with 23. I was like, this is the real deal, right? And so from there, I spent the 24 years in the military. 99, the government said, "Hey, we need people that speak Chinese. Who will raise your hand?" I said, "I will." So they paid me $20,000. I said, "Let's learn Chinese." And then after that, I was like, you know what? I don't want to do this. Let's be special forces. And I just made a random decision to do that as well. So, and then I spent the remainder of my career in the special operations community, lived in abroad in multiple countries, traveled all around the world, got to do some amazing things. And I really believe that that's a huge piece of what shaped me into who I am today. Yeah. But at one point, I'm sitting in a hotel room in Hawaii. And I was like, man, I had some really good wins, and one of the particular ones was I was literally helping to rebuild this relationship in one of these countries that we had with the United States ambassador and our 2-star general. And I had this point where I was like, if this dude with zero education, super poor, no mentorship and guidance is playing that significant of a pivotal role, like, why am I not building a multi-million-dollar empire? And so I went home, sitting on my sofa at 7:30 in the morning in my underwear, and I looked at my wife and I go, "We're gonna be real estate millionaires." And she's like, "Shut the fuck up, man. We're $127,000 in debt. You have $5 in the bank. You can't take me to Taco Bell." And I said, "Well, I'm gonna sell the only thing we have." She said, "What's that?" I go, "I'm gonna sell this guy." She's like, "What the hell does that mean?" And I go, "I have the vision. I have the grit, the determination, the perseverance, all the sexy adjective words that you need in order to be able to complete the mission. And I'm going to make this shit happen, and it's happening." Within 18 months, we had paid off all of our debt. Within 36 months, we had a multi-million-dollar portfolio. Here's the problem. Because I tend to be the guy that jumps out of the airplane without my chute and then realizes I forgot it, I didn't build any revenue stream. So a lot of people get caught up, and I don't want to take up too much time on the specificity of this, but the bottom line is I hadn't built no fast cash. As my mentor likes to say, if you're a real estate investor, you're equity rich and cash poor. And that's exactly what I created. We had equity. I looked great on paper, but that shit wasn't paying no bills. Not yet. Playing the long game, right? So then I'm caught in this conundrum where I'm like, how do I pull the rabbit out of this hat? So that's kind of caused me to just reflect, and I started creating these other businesses, and some of them were doing okay and not okay, and then I'm a real estate agent. I'm selling shit on the side, and finally at one point, January of this year, my wife says to me, she says, "What do you want to do? Like, what is your thing?" And I said, "I genuinely want to help other people overcome their fears in order to be able to transfer their lives and build generational wealth and financial freedom for so they can live the best version of them that they really want to. That fulfills me. Yeah. Like, I get fucking pumped for that. Sometimes I ask myself, is that too self-serving? But I'm like, no, fuck that. It's not self-serving. I mean, to some capacity, it probably is, right? But what I'm saying is the intentions are real. Yeah. They're not falsified. And so with that moment, I said, I'm going to build a company called Vision in Motion. And it's all about people taking their dreams and aspirations and turning them into a reality. And then through that process of me trying to figure out what does that look like over the past few months, I then reached out to my mentor, which you were so gracious enough to help me do that special video. Shout out, Mark. And I said, Mark, I'm thinking about paying this person, tens of thousands of dollars in order to become a motivational speaker. And he said, well, okay, let me ask you a question. Oh, I forgot one key piece of information. She said, I guarantee you'll make $150,000 a year. Okay, that sounds good to me. So Mark says, well, what if she does 150 gigs at $1,000 a piece? Are you good with that? And I was like, no. No, because now I'm going to be on the road continuously. And so he's like, oh, yeah, by the way, why would you not reach out to Nick? I go, Nick? He's like, you don't remember Nick? And I go, oh, from your show? Yeah, of course I remember Nick. And he goes, well, why don't you reach out to him? I go, he does that? And he goes, dude, you need to reach out to him. So then I reached out to your crew, and here we are today. Wow. So that's my journey, man. And I'm, as you kind of open it up and preference it with this conversation we're having right now, I'm literally having life-changing divine revelations here with you and your team. It's amazing.
That's beautiful, brother. I just want to acknowledge you as a man. I think your vulnerability is one of the strongest things about you. And I think I just got a download, and I'll share it with you, is I think that anyone would be so incredibly blessed to have a special operations mindset inserted into their mindset. And you bring such a unique perspective, and the things that you've gone through, you can now download into other people's brains. And so you're going to help a lot of people. And the path is self-illuminating, meaning that, you have to take the step. And as you take the step, the next step reveals itself, and we have to surrender to that. And as you see, you had one idea, and now it's a totally different idea. You have one speech, and now it's like, I don't even know what I want to talk about, because it's constantly shedding and constantly changing. So for those that are out there, right? Maybe it's men, maybe it's women, but maybe it's men, and maybe they're struggling, or maybe they're in debt, or maybe they're not following their purpose. What would a few things that you'd end with to leave the crowd with?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think the number one most important thing is that you have to believe it's possible, right? And as I consistently say, fear is the number one thing that inhibits the vast majority of people from going after their dreams and aspirations. And I tell people, the analogy I always use is, you're sitting at the proverbial cliff with all your buddies, and they're all sitting there and they're swimming in the water, and you're like, I want to be down with them, but I'm scared shitless to do it. Yeah. And I'm saying, at your time and your place, you need to fucking jump, bro. I'm not going to push you because I'm not that dick, right? But what I am saying is, you want me to hold your hand? I'll hold your hand. Let's jump. Yeah. Like, nothing. A very good friend of mine said this to me recently. There's no problem in this room that haven't been solved. Yeah. It's not unsolvable, bro. Yeah. The problem is you've built it up to something bigger than it really is. Yes. Stop talking about it and start doing it. I recognize fully that I tend to be at the other end of that spectrum. As I just said, I'm the guy that jumps out of the airplane without a chute. Yeah. Not a smart idea, right? Yeah. But at the same time, I don't want analysis paralysis and be that proverbial girl who's 16 years old sitting in the corner waiting for somebody to ask you to dance. Ain't nobody fucking asking you to dance. Yeah. So get up and do something, right? So I think it's all about taking action. In fact, if people look at my social media page, I just came up with this recently. I know that it was new in my idea to me. Maybe somebody else has already came up with this, but I basically said vision plus action times consistency equals achievements. Yes. That's my message, bro. I love it. That's my message. Is like, if you don't have the vision, figure out what the fucking vision is. Once you figure out what the vision, you have to take action. They can be incremental steps or they can be monumental steps, but one way or another, you cannot sit there and do nothing, right? And then ultimately it's about consistency. And back to the analogy of jumping off of the cliff, the second phase of that is people jump into the water and they're down there swimming and something scuffs their leg. And all of a sudden they're like, shit, I'm going to run back to the shore, right? They're fucking swimming and they're back at Taco Bell. They're back at Walmart. They're back at Amazon. I'm like, peace and chicken grease, brother. See, on the flip side, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, stay out here. You ain't going to die.
Yeah.
That's my message, man.
I love that. Bro, you're a great teacher. You're a great speaker. There's so much enthusiasm, but most importantly, there's belief and certainty in your words. And I think a great mentor breathes life in other people, and I know you're going to breathe life into so many people. And if they have the willingness and the opportunity to download a special ops mindset too, that's something that's going to take them to new heights, because we always know in business and life, 80% is psychology, 20% is mechanics. Most people have the strategies, but they're not taking action on it, right? And you probably need some special ops in your corner. I have special ops in my corner. You can get his special ops in your corner. So for those that want to dive deeper with you, where can they find you?
I'm on all social media platforms. I'm under my name, Jamie Tilke. And then on top of that, my company is called Vision in Motion. We have visioninmotion.co, not .com, but .co. And also have those social media pages on all platforms as well. And yeah, you can reach out to me and love to have a conversation.
Brother, this has been incredible. I'm so honored to be on your journey. Honored to watch Breakthroughs live and Evolution and Healing live. I'm so glad that your family is here that gets to witness your evolution as well. I know we're going to be hanging out in Dubai together as well. And it's just thank you for putting your trust in me and my team.
Yeah.
And with this Snapshot series, we will put all of Jamie's information in the show notes when this gets posted. And this is the Snapshot series with Jamie Tilke, Special Ops, downloading into your life and your business and your family. We'll see you soon.
Thank you, brother.